the journey, praise we shall hear.
After the shadows, there will be sunshine. After the frown, the soldiering smile. Cling to the Savior, love Him forever. All will be well in a little while. When I need someone in time of grief, someone my care to be, Jesus actions for He gives relief. He is the best for me. I trust Jesus when I need a friend. What I need, I know that He will stand. I have proved Him good and true with thee. I trust Jesus. He is the best of all for me. In sorrow I wandered, my spirit oppressed, but now I am happy, securely I rest. From morning till evening, glad carols I sing, and this is the reason I walk with the King. I walk with the King, hallelujah. I walk with the King, praise His name. No longer I roam, my soul faces home. I walk and I talk with the King. I've heard of a land of joy and peace and wonderful light, a beautiful place of mansions fair and skies ever bright, where all who believe the Savior dear forever shall stay, and having been saved by grace divine, I'm going that way. I'm going that way, I'm on that way, I'm going that way, I'm going that way. And Jesus the Savior I adore, is with me each day, is with me each day. I cling to Him, I cling to Him, and never to stray, yes, singing His praises all day long. I'm going that way, I'm going that way. Sweet is the song, I am singing today, I'm redeemed, trouble and sorrow, have vanished away, I have been redeemed, I'm redeemed, by love divine, glory, Christ is mine, all to Him, I now resign, I have been redeemed. Jesus the Lord laid His glorious sight, sinners to save and make whole. Freely He died our transgressions to hide. What is He worth to your soul? What is He worth to you? What is He worth to you? What is He worth to your soul? He died on the cruel tree for you and for me. What is He worth to your soul? When with the Savior we enter the glory land, won't it be wonderful there? And if the troubles and cares of the story land, won't it be wonderful there? Won't it be wonderful, wonderful there? Having no burdens to bear over there, joyously singing without bells or ringing, oh, won't it be wonderful there? When in the better land, before the bow we stand, how deeply grieved our souls will be. If any lost one there should cry in deep despair, you never mentioned him to me. You never mentioned him to me. You helped me, mortal heart, to see. You met me day by day, and knew I was astray, yet never mentioned it to me. Sweetly I trust in my Redeemer as I go singing on my way. So happy am I. Yes, so happy now. Yes, happy am I. Very happy now. Ever I know that He is with me, keeping my soul from day to day. So happy am I. Happy now am I. Yes, happy am I. Yes, happy am I. Happy am I with my Redeemer, singing along the homeward way and telling the lost of His grace love. Happy am I to know He's with me, heeding His wonders day by day. I'm happy along the way to heaven. If for the price we have striven, after our labors are o'er, rest to our souls will be given on the eternal shore. Oh, the soul of the soul, blessed nation of heaven, free from all care, from all care, and with Jesus the love no end. Oh, soaked in the storm, we are sighing for Thee, beautiful home of the ransom beside the gracious to the crystal sea.
Good evening. Welcome to Singing Sunday, brought to you by the Jurong Church of Christ. I apologize for that glitch. It's again, one of those things that you can plan, everything you want, but just last minute, the things will just happen. But I'm glad that has been minor so far. All right. So as you've noticed, finally we have managed to get our dual stream on both Facebook and YouTube. So whether you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, so glad that you can be with us. And okay, so this evening, all right, again in line with the theme of prayer, okay, we have selected hymn number 187, God of Grace and God of Glory, taken from the Praise for the Lord hymnal, edited by John P. Wigan. Right, and this is actually written by Harry Emerson. Let me just get this. Okay, God of Grace and God of Glory, written by Harry E. Fosdick, and the music is composed by John Hughes. Okay, so let us look at the hymn in its entirety. God of Grace and God of Glory. God of Grace and God of Glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story. Bring her bud to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Verse 2. Lo, the hosts of evil round us. Scorn thy Christ, assail his ways. Fears and doubts too long have bound us. Free our hearts to work and praise. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the living of these days. For the living of these days. Okay, and of course, just to clarify, right, this statement right here, it's mentioned by the hosts of evil, right? Not our declaration, obviously. Verse 3. Cure thy children's warring madness. Bend our pride to thy control. Shame our wanton selfish gladness, rich in things and poor in soul. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, lest we miss thy kingdom's goal, lest we miss thy kingdom's goal. Verse 4. Set our feet on lofty places, gird our lives that they may be, armored with all Christ-like graces, in the fight to set men free. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, that we fail not man nor thee, that we fail not man nor thee. And the final verse. Save us from weak resignation to the evils we deplore. Let the search for thy salvation be our glory evermore. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, serving thee whom we adore, serving thee whom we adore. All right. So in a moment, we'll be looking at some of the details. Okay, but for now, let us sing the hymn.
God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church ever story, bring her bud to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour.
All right, and that was the first verse of God of Grace and God of Glory. Okay, so as mentioned, this is written by Harry Emerson Fosdick. So he's a preacher of, maybe a little bit of a controversial background. And the composer is John Hughes. So this is a Welshman. So apparently he is pretty devoted to the Baptist church, right? He composed a couple of famous hymns, the melodies rather. Okay, and this one particular is what is also known as CWN Rhondda. Okay, it's actually taken from the Welsh name for Rhondda Valley. Right, so this is quite a popular tune. In fact, there's another hymn. I can't remember, but it's probably 197 maybe in the hymnal, Praise the Lord hymnal, that is also using the same melody. Okay, in likelihood, probably that was actually the first or rather the original hymn that was set to this music. All right, so if you look at the hymn, okay, you can see that this is written in the key of G. All right, there's a F sharp over there. Okay, F sharp. So that's the key of G, right? So the do, okay, the triangle, okay, is on the note G. Okay, the range, well, barring the fact that in the basses go down to a G, it on a relatively narrower side. All right. So if the song leaders, I'll leave it up to your discretion. All right. If you find that it's a little bit challenging in general for your basses in your congregation to hit the low G, okay, I think by all means kind of raise it up semitone or even up to a tone, because the ladies, okay, and the tenors, okay, you only go up to a D. Okay, only go up to a D. All right, so even if you raise it up a tone, okay, it is an E, okay, which is might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think still generally quite comfortable for the sopranos. Right, so I leave it up to your discretion. But obviously, if your congregation has guys that have really bassy, deep voices, okay, then yeah, by all means, just sing it in its original key in G. Right, so the time signature, okay, is the quite popular 4/4, right? So it's a simple 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And tempo-wise, okay, this kind of written in almost like a kind of march-like, anthem-like mood, right? So it's moderately fast, okay, to fast. So I would say probably a crotchet from about 100 to about 130. So again, as mentioned on previous occasions, quite dependent on your acoustics. All right, so if you are in the lively acoustics, you might want to take it just a touch slower. Okay, but if you're in a drier place, okay, you might want to just bump up the tempo a little bit. All right, so in terms of the mood, okay, as you can see, this entire hymn, okay, is like a prayer, right? So it's really an earnest prayer, and it's that phrase that wisdom and courage, right, is repeated, right? Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, right? Indeed, we need wisdom and courage from above, okay, to face the trials and to serve God acceptably, lest we be lost. And yes, there is a possibility that we will be lost if we do not continually render our obedience to God's commandments. All right. Now, in terms of technical aspects, not too much. Okay, I just wanted to highlight the contrasting rhythmic patterns, okay, between the sopranos, the tenors, okay, as well as the altos and the basses. All right. So, for example, like in this very first bar, okay, you notice that the sopranos and the tenors you share a same rhythmic pattern. Right, the dotted crotchet followed by the quaver. Right. So it's 3:1. Right. God of grace and, okay, God of grace and, okay, whereas for the altos and the basses, okay, I know it's a little bit confusing, okay, but this dot just happened that the altos and the sopranos share the same note, okay, but oh, sorry, let me see. Oh, sorry, I'm mistaken. All right, so the altos, okay. The altos, so only the basses are the unusual, are the odd ones out. I'm sorry. All right, so the altos, sopranos, and the tenors, you share the same rhythmic pattern, all right? But the basses, okay, you have a different rhythmic pattern. So instead of the dotted crotchet and the quaver, okay, it's just straight crotchets. Okay, so God of praise and God of glory. Okay, and then again here for here, all right. So the altos, you are kind of like in opposing fashion with the tenors. Okay, so you have a crotchet followed by the two quavers, whereas the tenors, okay, you have 2 quavers followed by the crotchet. Okay, and then the sopranos and the basses, okay, you share the same traveling pattern of 4 quavers. Okay, God of glory. Okay, and then the altos, so la so, God of glory, and then the tenors, mi re do, okay, God of glory. Right, so there's some of the more unusual aspects over here. Okay, so just in case, in a group setting, okay, do not be kind of distracted by one another. Okay, just look at your own music and trust in the writing. Okay, and then I think that's, yeah, the second page is pretty much the same. Okay, and then you have another rhythmic pattern over here. Okay, whereby again the sopranos, you mirror the tenors. Okay, with the same rhythmic pattern. Okay, and then the altos and the basses, you have the same rhythmic pattern. Okay, and then towards the end, in the last page over here. Okay, so again, the basses, you have kind of a lot of movement over here. Okay, and then, okay, yeah, so I realized that again, this bar over here, okay, in case you notice, okay, those of you who are sharp, okay, you realize that we actually did not sing, all this the different notes over here, right? Because according to the original, well, I mean, at least the hard copy of the Praise for the Lord hymnal, okay, this is actually a unison rhythm of a semi-brief, okay, which is this tailless, rounded, empty note here. Okay, so we will just follow based on the hard copy. Okay, I'm not sure exactly why this happened in the paperless hymnal version. Maybe one of the previous versions of the Praise for the Lord hymnal, this rhythmic pattern appeared. Okay, but for the latest version, okay, it is just simply a semi-brief. Okay, and that is what we will sing. Okay, so I apologize for that, but just for you to take note. Okay, so again, in the last 2 bars, okay, the sopranos and the tenors, okay, you have the same rhythmic pattern. Okay, whereas the altos and the basses, you share the same rhythmic pattern. Okay, and the last bar, the tenors, you have that unusual, or well, not unusual, but you have that added quaver over there. All right, and all this we will dive into more details as we dive into parts, okay, which is right about now. Okay, so God of grace and God of glory. So let's begin with the sopranos. Do, okay, so, do, so. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Alright, so do, la, so, do, di, do, re, mi, re, then mi, do, la, and then fa, la, fa, mi, re, do. Right, so this interval over here, okay, just a little bit more tricky, okay? La, fa, okay, mi, re, do. Okay, let's try it one more time. Just let me check. Everything's okay. Alright. Nice. Okay. Just give me a moment. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. There for a moment I thought the Facebook feed was not moving. Okay, but looks like it's fine. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so one more time, sopranos. Do, so. 1, 2, 3, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Yes, that's right. Okay, let's go on to the second page. Okay. Alright, so it's pretty similar, okay, except for the last 2 bars in the first page. Do, so, crown. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her part to glorious flower. Okay, so mi fa sol fa re do ti do. Right, fairly straightforward. Okay, one more time from the top of the page. Crown, 1, 2, 3, go. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring up to glorious flower. Yes. Okay, so let's take it from the top without stopping. Okay, the 2 pages. So, 1, 2, 3, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her back to glorious flower. Yes. All right. Okay, so before we carry on, okay, let us go back and look at the alto part. So, okay, do, mi, okay, mi, do, mi, so mi, fa, so, la, so. Okay, remember we just now we just briefly introduced. Right, so you have the crotchet, okay, followed by the 2 quavers. Okay, so just a single crotchet. Okay, so God of grace and God of glory. Okay, let's try it. Do, mi, God of grace, mi, fa, sol, ready, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Okay, so the second one, the second line, okay, it's straightforward, but it could be a little bit tricky, right? Because not that usual. So fa, la, la, so fa, mi, re, do, so fa, okay, so fa, la, so fa, mi. Okay, let's try that. On thy people, ready, go. On thy people pour thy power. Yes. People pour thy power. Yes, that's right. Okay, one more time from the top of the page. Do, mi, God of grace, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Yes. Okay, and we carry on to the next page. Okay, so you ended with a mi, with a mi, right, over here. Okay, and then the following note is also a mi. Okay, so quite straightforward. Okay, on thy power, crown, okay, mi, fa, sol, ready, go. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her back to glorious power. Okay, so this second line is a little bit easier. Okay, so it's so, la, so, la, so, so. Okay, again from the top of the page. Do, mi, go. Crown thine ancient church's story. Mi, so, excuse me. Crown thine ancient, ready, go. Crown thine ancient church's story. Bring her back to glorious life. Okay, apologize for that. Okay, one more time. Do, mi, go. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her back to glorious flower. Yes. All right. Okay, so let's take it from the top of the page, top of the hymn without stopping. Okay, the 2 pages. Okay, let's check our pitch. Do, we, go. God of grace, God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thy nation, church's story, bring about to glorious life. Yes. All right. Now let's go back to the tenors. Okay, so you begin with Do. Do. Okay, so do, mi, re, do. Okay, let's try it. God, do, ready, 1, 2, 3, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Okay, so fairly straightforward. Okay, do, mi, then mi, re, do, ti, and then back to do, do, ti, do. Right, one more time. Do, and God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Yes. Okay, let us go to the next page. Okay, so again, do, mi, re, do, ti, and then do, fa, mi, re, mi. Right, let's try that. Crown, do, go. Crown thy nation, church's story, bring her back to glorious life. Yes, all right. Okay, so let's take it from the beginning without stopping. Do, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thy nation, church's story, bring her back to glorious life. Yes. All right. Okay, basses, back to you. Hey, thanks for hanging on there. Oh no. Okay, so do, fa, mi, re. Okay, and this one, do, re, mi, fa, so. Okay, so again, I think I mentioned on previous occasions, right? Whenever you have the kind of like traveling or even a rising kind of pattern, okay, that's when you really want to milk it, right? God of grace and God of glory. Okay. And then do, la, fa, re. Okay, so this descending one is a little bit more tricky. Okay, do, ti, la, so, fa, do, la, fa, re, fa, mi, re, so, do. Okay, do, la, fa, re, so, do. Okay, just the last second line. On thy people, ready, go. On thy people pour thy power. Yes. Okay. So once more from the, okay, just take it from second line again. Okay. Do, on thy people pour thy power. Yes. Okay, from the top of the page. God, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Yes. Alright, so again, just to highlight, okay, don't be distracted by your brethren. Okay, so you are the only one that kind of stands out, right? So God of grace, and so make sure you kind of like really drive it home. Okay, you are the kind of like the foundation, okay, that drives it all, because you know this is exactly the same as the beat pattern. Okay, God of grace and God of glory. Okay, so make sure don't be distracted by the other parts. Okay, okay, the second page. Okay, almost similar. Do, go. Crown thy nation, church's story, bring her back to glorious love. Okay, so this is a little bit different. Say, do, la, mi, okay, so this is a different interval, okay, excuse me, do, la, mi, fa, so, do, right, so let's take it slowly, do, okay, bring her back to glorious flower. Okay, do, mi, bring her back, mi, okay, bring her back to glorious flower. Okay, so yeah, it can be a little bit tricky in the first few times you do it. Okay, but once you get into the so-called the groove, okay, you find it's kind of almost natural. Okay, so one more time, the last line in tempo. Ready, go. Bring her back to glorious love. Yes. All right. Okay, from the top of the page. Crown thine, go. Crown thine ancient church's story. Bring her back to glorious love. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's take it from the top of the page. Okay, without top of the song, hymn rather, without stopping. Do, ready, go. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her back to glorious love. Yes. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, back to the sopranos. Do. Okay, do, re. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Okay, and of course, the song leaders, you are at the liberty, to kind of do a retard, okay, or slow down, okay, probably not as much in between the verses, okay, but for the final verse, okay, maybe a little bit more. Right? Okay, so one more time, sopranos. Do, re, mi, fa, so, mi. Okay, this is a very natural progression kind of writing, right? Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. Okay, so, fa, mi, re, do, so. Now, for the facing of this hour. Okay. So fa mi so fa re do ti do. Okay. So just the last two bars. For go. For the facing of this hour. Yes. Okay. From the top of the page again. Grant, go. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Yes. All right, now the altos. Do, ti, okay, ti, do, re, so, do, ti, do, so, okay, ti, do, re, so, do, re, mi, re, do. Alright, so again here is a little bit unusual, okay, you kind of share the same rhythmic pattern as the basses, okay. So ti, do, re, so. Okay, re, so is a fifth. Ti, do, re, so, do, re, mi, re, do. Okay, then do, ti, do, ti. Do, ti, do, so, do, ti. Okay, so it's a little bit fast. Okay, do, ti, do, so, do, ti, do. Oh, okay, of course, in this case, it's this is the additional from the paperless hymnal. Okay, but I believe the original note is just held on T. Okay, just let me double check. Yes, that's right. Okay, so in the original, or rather the hard copy, okay, is do T, so do T. Okay, just the semi brief on the T. Okay, which is what we will do today. Okay, so one more time. Grant us wisdom, go. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Okay, so the last one, last two bars. Do, ti, do, la, so, so, so. Okay, with the words, do, go. For the facing of this hour. That's right. Okay, one more time for the top of the page. Ti, grant, go. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Yes, that's right. Okay, now the tenors. Okay, tenors, you have a little bit more movement. Okay, so you start with a fa. Do, re, mi, fa. Okay. Grant us wisdom. Okay. Grant us wisdom. And then same thing. Grant us courage. Okay. So, fa, mi, so. And then for the facing of this hour. Okay, so again, similar. We just hold on to the semi-brief on the so. For the facing of this hour. Okay, so this one. Okay, just get the interval. So, mi, do, fa. Okay, so, mi, do. Quite okay. But do, re, mi, fa. Okay, so, mi, do, fa, mi, re, fa, mi. Yeah. Okay, so be careful about that. Okay, so one more time, the last two bars. So, ready, go. For the facing of this hour. Yes. Okay, so one more time from the top of the page. For, ready, go. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Yes, that's right. Okay, now basses. Do, so. Okay. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage. Okay. So, la, ti, do, so, do, re, mi. And then mi, re, do, ti, la, so, same thing. Okay, just hold on to the so of on the semi-brief. Okay. Mi, re, do, ti, la, so. Okay, so it's just a descending scale, right? Mi, re, do, ti, la, so. And then mi goes back to mi. Mi, re, do, fa. Okay, do, ti, la, so, fa, do, fa. So, do. Okay, so mi, re, do, fa, so, do. Okay, and of course, for those who, in case the song leader decided to take in the original pitch and you can't quite hit the G, okay, by all means go up to the higher G. Okay, so, do. Okay, which is equally, it will be equally fine. All right, once more from the top of the page. Do, mi, so, grants, ready, go. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour. Yes, that's right. Okay, so that's 187, God of Grace and God of Glory. Okay, a very rousing anthem indeed. Okay, so let's, as we end, we'll sing the hymn one more time.
God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church ever story, bring her back to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, for the facing of this hour. For the facing of this hour.
Amen. And may God grant us courage, wisdom and courage as we face our daily challenges. And especially in these trying times of present distress, we certainly need a lot of comfort and guidance from our God to live our lives. All right. Okay, so thank you once again for joining us this evening. Okay, once again, this is Singing Sunday, brought to you by the Jurong Church of Christ. My name is Paul Goh. So very happy to be sharing this platform with you. Okay, so as it is, we are still having our church services streamed online. Okay, streamed online and Sunday at 9 a.m. And as we successfully did this morning, okay, it's now dual streamed on both Facebook as well as YouTube. Right, so whichever channel that you are used to, okay, do join us. Okay, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, okay, you're most welcome to join us in our worship, online worship, Sunday at 9 a.m. Now, because of the current situation, the elders have decided that we will temporarily suspend the Sunday afternoon in-person hybrid Bible classes. So as of this week, all Sunday Bible classes will be held online. All right, so we'll be back to our old timing before this year. Okay, they'll be at about 10:30 a.m. So it's kind of like almost just immediately after the worship service. All right, so these are, yes, they'll be online, but they are only available through Zoom. So if you'd like to be part of the classes, okay, do let us know, especially for the junior Bible classes. I understand that this is probably quite a resource that is much needed in certain parts. Parts of the reason especially. So if you like to leverage on a resource, okay, the teachers have put in a lot of hard work. Okay, so certainly to God be the glory, obviously, but it certainly we would like you to make use of our services over here. All right, and also we have our online midweek evening Bible class, which is Wednesday at 8 p.m. So again, if you'd like to be part of it, just let us know, and we will get back to you on the details on how to access to our online Bible classes. All right, and of course, not to mention, we will have the ongoing Facebook and YouTube segments, okay, Motivating Monday and Tuesday Tips, okay, new episodes at 8 a.m., okay, every Monday and Tuesday. And of course, if there are any questions or any doubts and queries that you have, okay, we'll be most happy to schedule a personalized Bible study with you. Okay, certainly we understand that different people have different needs, so do not let your needs go unmet. Okay, just drop us an email, drop us a message, okay, whether it's through Facebook or YouTube, okay, and we'll get back to you and organize a personal Bible study. All right, so once again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Apologize for the glitch a little bit this evening. Lord willing, okay, then next Sunday everything will be running as smooth as it can be. All right, but in the meantime, I do continue to take care and keep yourselves healthy, keep yourselves safe, and we'll see you real soon. Okay, thank you and good night.
From dust of God, created man.